Moving on in the book of Deuteronomy, our second sharing session from chapters 3 to 4 is what I'm about to share. Welcome. And just moving along. Next, Moses recalls to the people their victory over Og of Bashan and capturing 60 of their towns. Also conquering King Sihon of Heshbon. And then, what I realized was King Og was actually a giant, because in one of the chapters they talked about how he slept on a bed of iron that was 13 feet long. So clearly he was a giant, and supposedly the last surviving giant of the time. And Moses also spoke about the land division on the east of the Jordan to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh, which were the Transjordanian tribes. In chapter 23, we learn that Moses pleaded with God to forgive him and let him see the promised land. But God didn't go back on his word that he wouldn't. But instead, he told him to go up to the mountain and see the land and then commission Joshua to lead. I thought about it and I felt like, was God being mean? But the first thing that actually came to my mind is that God doesn't have double standards. He had spoken that about, he had given that punishment to the people who rebelled. And then I feel like Moses was held to a higher standard because he was a leader. And so, he had to also, have that punishment, whatever. In chapter 4, Moses urges the Israelites to obey God's decrees and regulations, reminding them of when they stood at Sinai and received the 10 commandments, admonishing them against idolatry, reminding them of the consequences of worshipping other gods. That's destruction of their lands, loss of their lives, and exile. Do you remember when I spoke about the phases, when God was giving them the phases of punishment? If you didn't do this and then you don't repent, then this is it, and then this is it, and then this is it. And the last thing was exile. He told them that God is the only true God, and remembering his mighty acts and obeying him will cause them to be blessed and live long in the land. Now, I noticed that Moses spoke as though he knew that they would disobey. And I felt like, and they actually did, as we will come to see. And I felt like he did because he had been with them for 40 years. He had been leading them. These were the people that had been driving him crazy, but he still had so much love for. So in chapter 4:30, he lets them know that after all said and done, when they turn their hearts back to God, he will be merciful to them and not forget his covenant to their ancestors. Finally, he set apart 3 cities of refuge east of the river Jordan, the Transjordanian area. There were 3 cities of refuge there. I felt like they just gave us that information. Maybe it will be for something, I don't know. So here's the lesson that I learned about God's character from Deuteronomy 3 to 4. God is victorious. And I learned that from reading chapters 3:21 to 22. He is patient with us, and as we learn his character, he doesn't lose his patience with us. I feel like as we get to know God and see all the different dimensions in which he is God and in different ways that he's our God, his patience with us, and he just lets us learn who he is, and continues to wrap us around with his love. And I pray that we may learn to trust him more and more as we go through life's battles. Thank you for joining me today. Tomorrow we'll be continuing on our lessons and the quest to know God more in the book of Deuteronomy, and I look forward to seeing you here. Have a wonderful evening.